Good morning. It's a beautiful, sunny, hot summer day in California. A little bit muggy today, but it's still going to soar up over 100 degrees. So it's been very warm for months and months. And now we have some of the wildfires that Northern California is dealing with, unfortunately. So I have finally finished up these two beautiful journals. I started them in May. I took the covers and the signatures unbound to Carlsbad for our Fair Damsels retreat, Seaside Soiree. And I used them as an example on how to stitch in the button spine method. And so these are what I did in the class. And then I just brought them home and I've continued to work on them. So what I'm gonna do is share each one separately in a separate video because I kind of get winded and tell stories in between. And I think it's just easier if we do a shorter video to showcase them. This one, I don't have names for them yet, but this one is lace and the other one is silk. They are totally mermaid themed. And I have some beautiful, beautiful elements. I chose to make them very elaborate and decked right out because that's my style. That's what I enjoy doing. The spine is 1.5 inches, which allowed for a lot of bulk inside. I wanted to just make sure that I could do the tags very dimensional and layered and lots of beautiful goodness on them. There's a lot of charms and extra embellishments I just love. And I will say that most of the beads, well, all of these beads and the charms I got in the button jar that I bought from Boho Crafty Chica, which is Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I had so much fun with these. They are just absolutely stunning. I'm so in love with them. This one too. It's got a few little dangly things on it. And then a lot of the appliques are from Susie Oberman. They are just absolutely perfect. I want to thank her so much. This sari silk is vintage. I got that at the vintage market. This beautiful shell charm is one of Michelle's. And then they've got a lot of beautifulness on the top. I love fibers and embellishments. So this particular fabric is vintage lace, and it's not really an emerald color. I don't know what color to call it, but it's absolutely stunning. I've used it once or twice for gifting something to somebody, and I love the scallop on the edges. I did cut up some of it into panels that we used in our class, so some of the ladies were fortunate enough to get it. I hope they're enjoying using it. And let's just go inside. The graphics or the digitals are, I fell in love with these mermaids, vintage mermaids from Modernista Print Shop. What I did was about a year ago, I printed out, I want to say 300 to 500 sheets. I know it's insane. I was a little overambitious, of ocean and beach and mermaid themed pages, and then I tea dyed them all. So I've got a box and a half that I'm just chipping away at. I love them all, but these were by far my favorite. In fact, I forgot about them until after until May, when I peeked at my box again and I saw, oh my gosh, I have to do something with those quickly to use them. And then quite a few of the embellishments or the laces are also from Gisela Clark at Lavish Laces. This particular silver and this silver rickrack, isn't that just absolutely stunning? I'm so in love with them. Some beautiful vintage buttons in the crystal color. I've got this artisan paper that I've used to line the inside cover of this journal. One of Susie's incredibly beautiful pearl and sequin dyed appliques. These booklets are just really small. I do want to show off this gorgeous paper that I got from Marjorie, who does her gold magic on these pages. They are just absolutely stunning. I got a beautiful pack from her, but these particular papers were the exact colors of this journal series in the light aqua and the light lavender. So I used them for the booklets. And this can just be tucked in here or clipped onto the side. This is the opening page, and I just love her. I think she's my favorite of all the mermaids. Again, they're really vibrant colors. I do love the contrast of something vintage and the ivories and the creams and the pinks, the soft pinks and the blush, but I also love the strong, vibrant jewel tones. And what I've done is just used mostly tags to decorate. I didn't do a lot of linen on the inside pages. Rather, I just chose to do the, what I love to do is the gilding polish and then some script stamping. And this particular color in the gilding polish is called Blossom. So it's almost like an opal sheen. I hope you can see it. It's just so lovely. Here's a tag featuring one of Susie's beautiful, beautiful appliques with pearls and beads. And these ones I think I purchased from her. She had them in the vendor booth. And then just lots of fibers and fluff on the top and some gorgeous mermaid papers. This is some fabric, silk chiffon that I got at the vintage fabric store that I love to go to. And it's got the silver embellishments in it. I did give everybody at the retreat a piece of that to use however they would like. Here is another beautiful journaling card with some vintage jewelry that I've attached to the bottom, some beautiful vintage lace, and the iridescent holographic paper with another one of Susie's pretty appliques. And on this side of the right page, I've used this particular gimp trim many times. I'm so in love with it. I think this is the last bit, the absolute last little piece that I had. I just love it so much. It's so fun to use. And this pretty little tag or journaling card. It's got another lovely pearl and crystal embellishment on the applique, some pretty digitals, and just backed onto a piece of flocked scrapbook paper. This beautiful envelope is made from paper from my sweet friend Brenda in Ireland. She gifted me something in a swap a few years ago, and she just had a folder full of what she called random unique papers. So she has done these herself, and I just had to use them for this project because they were the perfect color. A little bit of gold and shimmer in them. Isn't that just so stunning? I know she does eco dyeing and all kinds of other incredible things. This particular page I turned into an envelope and then added one of Susie's appliques to the flap. Some antique ledger paper on this side. And then I've just included some images. Whoever ends up with this journal can just add them to the pages if they would like, or tuck them inside and find some places to write their secret notes. Gorgeous digitals, just so very beautiful. This is another favorite of my journaling cards that I made. Some vintage French book page, and I have used the sand paste, the antique sand paste. That is by Sam Poole. And I also got the several colors from Lavish Laces. She carries them too. Vintage doily that I've just used as a topper, and some beautiful paper. And then this adorable little turtle charm. I just love it so much. I do prefer gold, but I used a lot of silver in this journal because it lends itself to the whole iridescent mermaid theme. Turtles, I love, love, love. a gorgeous applique from Susie on this side with the pearls. And just an old playing card. I did buy a bunch of unique ephemera pieces over the last few months. This is by the ocean. Some vellum stickers, vintage book page, and then this tag is using artisan paper with the gold paint through it. I've just ripped up some gold tissue paper, some of my mesh from Vanessa Clemens, and some beautiful sequined gold. This is modern. This is not vintage or antique. And then a repurposed piece of vintage jewelry. I think these were earrings. Some sari silk on the top, and then I've just stitched it to the back of some French book page. And when I have a lot of bulk like this, I usually try to keep it at the top of the journal page so that it hangs over the edge. And then I do like to see the lace or the trim cascading over the page sides. So pretty. Another sweet little image of a girl by the seashore. And another tag. This one is antique lace. Excuse me. I've used this lace in a couple of projects now. I think my Mimi's Mermaid Magic journal that I made a couple of months ago. Here you can see the gilding polish and the script stamping as well. This is just regular scrapbooking paper that I have added a couple of Susie's beautiful appliques to, and some more artisan paper, and then topped it with some fibers and a couple of vintage buttons in there. I just love all of that. Beautiful, organic looking toppers. This is some dyed lace on the side. I can't exactly remember who that's from. Yeah, I'm not going to say because I'm not exactly sure. This is just a fun little tag that I did with some stenciling and the rose-colored sand paste. Some of Sheila's beautiful mermaid sequin trim, and just some little strand of pearls backed onto some scrapbook paper. This is some gold speckled coffee dyed paper. That comes from Junk Sisters Journals on Etsy. I always include at least one vintage postcard in my journals, vintage or antique. This one is 1912, 1919. That is just such a beautiful image. I love it. And if they come in a plastic sleeve, I usually keep that until I've delivered the journal to the prospective owner so they can choose to do what they would like with it. Some vintage music paper, a couple of images that can be moved around. I do want to point out this adorable little squid iridescent charm that came from Michelle as well, Boho Crafty Chica, in my large bottle of buttons and beads and charms from her. I had to have it because it had the most beautiful blue turtle on it, and everything inside of it, the jar is just incredible and amazing. I'm enjoying using it so much. Book page from a mermaid book that I have. She's just so beautiful. Let's see if I can show it clearly. This was my favorite page. I just love her. So beautiful. This is just parchment paper. This is like wallpaper. It is artisan paper, and I've just backed it onto parchment paper. Not decorated or topped with anything. The next owner can decide what they would like to do with it. Another sweet little booklet that I've just used some vintage opal sheen buttons and added some embossed metallic paper underneath the image. And then I've used Marjorie's pretty papers again to fill that little booklet. This side includes some beautiful vintage lace from Georgianne. This is a decoupage tall tag that I've made and tucked it into the other side of the music paper. And then on this side, I've just got an image of a girl. You know, these can be made into pockets. You can do whatever you would like with them. I've just chosen to include them loose, like I said. And this is my favorite. I just absolutely love this vintage postcard. Isn't that just so stunning? 1913. Unbelievable. And the writing is just so exquisite. It's just gorgeous. I love this little mermaid girl. Beautiful antique postcard. Some of my very favorite of Sheila's trims is the sequined. I call it mermaid trim because it's just so pretty. Some more of the antique lace. And then I've made a tall tag out of this beautiful chiffon ribbon. Just a little bit of whimsy here, layers of papers and tissue and applique. Just backed onto scrapbook paper for some sparkle and shine. And this gorgeous antique lace. I love it so much. That's it. I think I've used it all up as well. And the tag on this side features another beautiful charm from Michelle. Some beautiful fibers, iridescent, seam binding, and an applique that I've cut up from Susie. Just some layering of a beautiful mermaid image. Some lined notebook paper to write on for extra journaling. Here's another pink tag with a beautiful applique on it. And these gorgeous fibers and trims backed onto pink parchment paper. Vintage book page and a vellum sticker on this side. And then here I've got some antique lame. As you know, it's used for costume making. It's very fragile because it's all metallic threads. I tried to give each attendee at our retreat a piece of it in gold to try it out for themselves. It's just so absolutely gorgeous. I love using it for ruffles. And then some of Sheila's beautiful blingy trim with the tulle netting on the sides. And this has got little beads and rhinestones and sequins in it. So very sweet. Another tag in the purple with a mermaid tail charm. I did an applique from Susie. I did it upside down because I like the way this looked like mermaid's tails right there. So in case you're wondering, that was my thinking process. And then this funky trim on the side. I love using it. It's just so fun. Some more of the ledger paper this side. And then we've got another tag that I've used, the flocked paper, digital image. And then I used some, I think it's silk moire. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I just made a ruffle out of it. And then Susie gave me some trim with sea creatures on it and shells. It just was so perfect for this tag. And a beautiful little vintage note card and envelope. Just for some extra journaling. Oh, I think I tucked it in here. Extra writing space and creates a beautiful image on the other side. And then here I've got some pretty vintage lace. Like I said, I do love it when it falls over onto the side, as this one does. Beautiful girl. And then another postcard with Miranda and the Tempest is what it's called, this particular drawing. And then this beautiful lace on the side. And that is the back side of this journal with another applique. It is just so incredibly beautiful. I did it at an angle. I positioned it at an angle so I could tuck this little booklet in. Some more beautiful beads, some of Sheila's trim, and Marjorie's papers. Nope, this one doesn't have her papers. This is some of my artisan paper and the coffee dyed gold speckled paper. So very sweet. Lots of extra writing space. So that is the journal that I'm just calling for now Mermaid Magic and Lace. I'm not quite sure what I'll name it. Might just leave it at that. But I hope you've enjoyed looking through it with me. And thank you for your patience. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.